What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with
his co-host and co-coach, KG, and I'm in the house.
Today, we're going to be giving you 7 nutrition mistakes you're probably making that you don't even know you're making.
And with this, I find that one of the biggest reasons people don't succeed is because of their nutrition. However, it's a level deeper than the fact that some people aren't counting calories or they're not eating healthy enough. A lot of times people have the right mindset towards dieting and losing body fat. A lot of their actions just aren't in line with what they're actually trying to do. So I really encourage you to sit down with each one of these mistakes and be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, am I making this mistake? How can I fix this mistake? Sometimes even asking, why am I making this mistake could be a very important question to ask. A lot of times it's your preconceived thoughts of maybe thinking that specific foods are healthy for you or whatever the case is. So I really encourage you, actually take this advice and start to integrate it. A lot of people are getting ready for summer right now with the shred challenge that we're going to be doing and vacations that you may have planned. So it's very important to dial in nutrition more than ever. So number one is just simply overestimating healthy foods. So I see this common mistake happen very often where people start to make better decisions and changes within their overall day-to-day. They eat different things like nuts and avocados and, whatever the case is. That smoothies could be a good example. Someone would be like, hey, I'm having a healthy smoothie. It could be 800 calories. Even your breakfast, for example, like I see a lot of Instagram type breakfasts. I see a lot of people who are eating healthy foods, but their calorie intake is still significantly more than it should be to help them within their day-to-day goals that they're striving for. And I remember I had this uncomfortable conversation with someone years ago. They would always send me photos of their food, and believe me, it looked great. Like it looked Instagram worthy. You'd post it all looks cute and tasty and all this stuff. And when I started to keep track of what the numbers were inside my head, I'm like, wow, this is about a 900 calorie meal, when in reality, without all these extra add-ons, it could be 300. And it's not always about having less calories, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of people don't realize how quickly things add up. So the easiest fix for you, the easiest solution, download a fitness tracker app, be super consistent with it, use measuring cups, use a food scale, and be honest. I promise you, this will change the game. And if you're struggling on your journey and you make this one small change, it can make a huge difference for you.
Yeah, you'd be you'd blown away how caloric some healthy foods can be. And oftentimes there's a misconception that just because it's healthy, you can eat infinite amounts of it. I love fruit. Fruit is amazing, but you can easily eat way too much fruit, like especially some of the denser and more enjoyable ones like pineapple. It's very easy to overconsume it because it's still sugary, it still tastes good, it's still very rich in micronutrients. It's amazing for you in many which ways, but like anything, too much of anything is bad. And it's the same. Like I love olive oil, I love utilizing it, but you need to be aware of these things. And just because something's healthy doesn't mean it's free range. And I mentioned it before, but I worked at a smoothie bar. People would come to get a smoothie after a workout. And my friend worked there too. And he'd always be like, people are ridiculous because they'd think they're getting a healthy smoothie after a workout. When we make them the smoothie, it'd be like 1,200 calories. Like you'd be better off almost having a burger because there'd be like 6 scoops of peanut butter in there and just all this junk they didn't need. And of course you can have a really healthy smoothie, but just the same, you can get more towards milkshake territory, if you will. So it's just something to consider. And you do need to identify this. And that's why CECO matters the most. And that is calories in, calories out, and obviously aiming to still eat healthy foods, but eat them in balance. My second tip, and probably the biggest nutrition mistake I see, is always needing something. And there's a lot of different layers to this, but a good example would be if every time you get in your car and you drive to a certain event that you go to a couple times a week, you need to stop at Starbucks and get a special drink. Or anytime it's nice outside, you need to go get a refresher at Starbucks. And I know it's easy to have these habits, and then you just start internalizing it. Every time you get in your car, you're paying like $10 for a drink, you're getting like 400 unnecessary calories. It's just something that's commonplace. Another example would be if you sit down to watch something in your living room, right away you need a snack for it. Whether you're hungry or not, you're just like, I need to pair a snack with it. Or mid-afternoon, you're feeling it in the day and you're like, I need to go get a Coke. That's what makes me feel better. It's my afternoon Coke. And oftentimes this conception of just like always needing something can be detrimental. And even we had a Ninja Creamy. I love it. And it was fun having that Ninja Creamy, and I made it fit consistently, but it just got to the point where it's like, oh, I kind of just want this because it's become habit and it's been habitual. Same with some things in the afternoon. If I'd get in the habit of getting something. Or I even remember distinctly I'd get this particular pasta after I'd rock climb, and I'd associate rock climbing with this specific pasta. And I think just analyzing, do I need something? Am I actually hungry? And like, are there habits I'm having that are just stacking on calories for no need whatsoever? So I think the more you can avoid that, the more you can analyze like eating when you're hungry, focusing on good meals, still enjoying treats and letting treats be treats at the same time, and enjoying them within balance is something I really believe in.
Yeah, it all comes down to habits. And yeah, like I've had to catch myself numerous times and I'm still working on it, even just depending on where I'm at in life and how many calories I have. I find that sometimes I could go down that path of just like building that habit. And the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, it's been 20 days and I've had the specific thing that I don't actually need, but it's become a habit, right? So even after a meal, like some people based off of how you were raised and, what you had done for many years, like you always need a dessert. And it's like, do I really need this? I just had a full meal. Once again, nothing wrong. And sometimes it is nice to have that. But for some people, it could be throwing them out of their calorie goals. For some people, they could be super satisfied and, have been fully complete with their overall day of eating, but you're like, I need an ice cream bar. And it's like, for me being a sweets lover and someone that enjoys it, it's important for me to catch myself where I can go down that path of just like always having something or always needing something. And even for TV shows, as an example, or movies, like there's some people, and once again, like I like to use popcorn as an example, as it can be something you can fit into your day. It's super macro friendly, if as long as you're not getting the super high butter and like that kind of not so good one for you, right? But at the same time, if every time like you build that habit, you sit down with the TV, I need some sort of food, it's like, do you really need it, or is it just like the habit that you've built up? So this alone can change the game for you. Number 3 is needing to take advantage of everything. So once again, these are things that I had to have as a realization for myself, as I can sometimes struggle with it as well. And that's kind of what this episode was created on, is like different things that I've realized myself, different things I'm working on, I've improved on. And this is something I see a lot of people struggle with. And it can come down to free meals. It could come down to like specific work events, like maybe even if you have a plate in front of you and you need to finish it always. It doesn't always have to be that way. And I can see this mistake happen very often, where you consistently have more calories because you feel the need to just like take advantage or complete it. Even family get-togethers, right? You see like, some of my family, they just will always overcook a million different things. And, it's easy to just be like, oh, well, there's so much of it, you may as well. Or like you bring some home, or, even just, you don't want some to go to waste, or whatever the case is. So I think it is very important to just keep your nutrition goals and what you're striving for in mind. And like, there's even been a lot of different times where we'd have something included. Like I remember some specific events, we got really nice seats to different conferences, or, even different, even the UFC event, and we weren't drinking. And it's like, it's easy to have that mindset of just like, oh, well, I want to take advantage. But I see a lot of people make the wrong decisions because of that. And it's something that I just wanted to remind you of today. So don't feel the need to always, go to the max when it's, free or taken care of, or whatever the case is. It's just not the greatest habit in the world.
Yeah, it's better to stick to your goals than just give in and be like, oh, I need to get my money's worth. And sometimes there's other costs, right? Like if you have certain goals in mind or you're not actually hungry, it isn't always worth it. And sometimes even just breaking the habit of always needing to finish things. I always finish my food, but sometimes being like, I'm actually pretty full. I don't need to eat all this food here. I can take it home and enjoy it. That's something I've had to really work on, but I have noticed big improvements. So love that tip. And the next biggest nutrition mistake, and probably the biggest one of all, is an all or nothing mentality. Maybe when you're locked in, you're perfect. You never eat anywhere outside your house. Everything's weighed, everything's perfect. But the second you deviate from that, one bite, one lick, one sip, you just go off the deep end, and it's like the floodgates open and everything just goes to garbage. So just keep in mind, one bad meal won't ruin your progress, just like one salad won't make you healthy. It's a sum of your actions. If you mess up 5 days out of 365 days, hardly even noticeable, right? Even if you messed up 30 days, you're still net doing better. Where it goes wrong is when you have that expectation to be perfect and you never deviate from it. And those 5 days just turn into absolute like onslaughts of crazy, crazy aggressive eating. And it just becomes this mess. So instead, like give yourself that flexibility. If you mess up, say, I wasn't perfect. I deviated from my plan. What can I do going forward to make adjustments to make sure I'm still successful and learn from this?
And real quick, before mistake number 5, we're so excited to share more information about the Summer Shred Challenge that's taking place. We're gearing up for it, and it's going to be starting in just over a week. There's so many amazing things going to be taking place. We have thousands of dollars in prizes. We have daily criteria to hit. We have weekly challenges. We have weekly live calls, and such an amazing time and group of people who are absolutely crushing it together. And I promise you, when you come into this coaching program and join us for this challenge, you're going to be blown away at what you can accomplish. You're going to look incredible, whatever you wear this summer, whatever outing you go to. People are going to be stopping you and saying, hey, how much weight have you lost? And they're going to be so blown away, because when you come in to a group of people who are absolutely crushing it alongside you, it's amazing what you can accomplish. Message us with the keyword Summer Challenge to Instagram at ColossusFit, COLOSSUSFIT, to make sure you don't miss out on this. So number 5 is simply eating too fast. Once again, these are a lot of things I have to catch myself on, and I still do, but I find a lot of people that they end up eating more calories just because of how quickly they're eating. And even a kind of bonus one here is just like eating while being distracted. So it's been proven that when you are distracted, you end up over consuming calories by roughly 20% or so. So this tip is very important. However, it'll never be more important than tip number 1, which is just like paying attention to calorie intake. However, if you are someone who's finding yourself consistently eating a little bit more than you should at specific meals, or maybe not being as satisfied, this is something that you could call yourself out on, right? And there's different ways to make sure you eat a little bit slower. It could be setting a timer. It could be, once again, making sure you're not distracted. If you're sitting and watching TV always while eating, you won't realize probably, how quickly you consume the meal, and you'll finish it and you'll be like, oh, well, maybe you'll be a little bit more hungry because you've been distracted. You could also just, use your opposite hand. You could just do a number of different things. But I would say the biggest thing is just to be more mindful as you're eating. Like if you're paying attention to each bite that you're having, if you're actually like present, I think that alone makes such a big difference. But yeah, I see a lot of people do this. And once again, I'm guilty of this, but I do believe it makes a big difference for sure.
Yeah, even for me, I've made it a goal, and something I've really enjoyed is we don't eat any meals in front of screens anymore in this house, and we've been pretty consistent with it. So I've been really happy to make that happen, like doing family dinners, family breakfasts, and I actually find I've been enjoying my food a lot more and eating it with a lot more focus, whereas when we just have it in front of TV, we can very easily mindlessly eat. So I've really enjoyed that switch myself, and I think just being aware of this, taking smaller bites, actually enjoying the food, it is amazing how not only does it help you portion better, but it also enhances the experience. My next tip would be not prioritizing your protein in your diet. So maybe even you have your calories down, things are going well, but if you're neglecting protein, you are missing out on so much. Protein helps you feel more full, it helps you add more muscle, it helps you maintain muscle as you lose fat, and it really helps with satiety. So like I said, it making you more full and keeps you fuller longer throughout the day. So if you're not optimizing for protein, you're really limiting your body compositional benefits that you can achieve. So it's really important you make a point to really aim to work up to about 1 gram per body weight. I find that's the easiest metric to follow. And if you can't do that, you can do about 0.8 of a gram per body weight if you're looking to build up towards that. But by doing this, you're going to receive copious benefits, and it's going to really just enhance your diet through and through, and it's really going to help you with your composition, strength, and energy goals.
Yeah, and last but not least, number 7 is just blindly following fad diets. So this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see, and it seems like these days everyone wants everything so quickly, and I don't know what's primed us to think that way, but it's just like most people want short-term fixes and they want results right away, but that's not the reality. Real results comes from sustainability, from long-term adherence, and just overall consistency. And the truth is, I know that doesn't sound sexy to hear versus like me sitting here and saying, hey, if you have this specific supplement within this fasting protocol, you'll lose 20 pounds in 7 days, like whatever I could make up. Like that sounds a lot better. And that's why a lot of people buy into it, right? And there's a lot of different magic formula kind of praises within each dieting phase. So I really encourage yourself to catch yourself if you ever do go down that route of just like constantly looking for that next thing. Like we know what works. It's flexible dieting. It's staying consistent. It's eating a balanced diet of healthy whole foods. It's, keeping track of your calories. Like it really is quite easy. I know it may sound like a lot if I, talk about it here, but yeah, I just see so many people making this mistake. And even like in the locker room at the gym, like I could hear so many different diets that people are bringing up. And to be honest, like these days, there's a new diet every week. Like some of them we hear about because everyone goes down and they get obsessed with it. Some of them we don't because it doesn't catch on and people don't care. But, between keto, carnivore, detox cleanses, there's stuff like military diets. There's different fasting type diets. And the truth is you will get some results like short term and you will probably experience it quickly, but long term it ends up biting you and it's not worth it. So thank you so much for spending time with us today. These are 7 mistakes it's very possible you're making and potentially could be holding you back. If you want to join us for the Summer Shred Challenge, message us Summer Challenge. I promise you, you do not want to be on the sidelines for this, and I really hope you learned something. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace and love always.